You arrive in a world of glass towers and marble lobbies. Luxury cars slip past like planets orbiting a sun you can't touch. Billboards flash experiences you can't buy. You clutch a single dollar. One day, $1. This is a survival test. This is a tale of choices. Level 1, arrival. You step off the tram. Your shoes are scuffed. Your phone screen is cracked. Around you, champagne and couture move in slow, wealthy motion. No one asks how much your life costs. You do. You check your wrist. No wristwatch. Your breath tightens. The city is loud and indifferent. You fold the dollar and feel the paper like a compass. It's tiny. It's everything. You have rules you didn't write. You must make decisions measured in minutes. You must keep moving. Level 2. The rules. $1, 1 day. No borrowing, no begging, no cheats. You cannot sell a phone, pawn a watch, or call someone wealthy. You have 10 hours of sunlight. You have pockets that must stay light. You must eat. You must rest. You must not disappear. The clock is your enemy and your teacher. You map the city by its freebies. Fountains, sample tables, church lunches, museum coat checks. You learn to read schedules like a second language. Free means timed, and timed means line. You keep your dignity by choice. You decide where to stand in public. Level 3. Food hunger is not dramatic at first. It is precise and practical. You count calories in your head like coins. A cup of soup at a market costs $3, not an option. But the bakery gives end-of-day slices. You join a queue for the last pastry. You smile. You barter charm for scraps. A coffee shop hands out day-old loaves to shelter-run volunteers. You learn their names. You carry a strip of stale bread like a talisman. Fruits from a street vendor fall into your palm when a child's laughter distracts their watchful eyes. You trade stories for oranges. Food becomes social currency. You practice the art of portion and timing. A single rice ball lasts 3 hours if you add water. You ration warmth like a monk with a candle. You find soup kitchens, yes, but also corporate samples at product launches, free coffee, promotional bites, employee cafeterias with open doors at lunchtime. You become a ghost at the edges of abundance. Level 4, shelter and health. A bench is not a bed. You learn which plazas clear at midnight and which let you stay till dawn. A 24-hour library gives you light. A museum's cloakroom stores your small bag for a donation. You trade a minute of conversation with a guard for an extra hour under fluorescent safety. Health becomes triage. A headache means water and rest, not a clinic. You find free clinics, but lines snake like vines. You mend what you can with sleep and cheap antiseptic. You become adept at first aid. You memorize locations, a fountain with clean water, a pharmacy with a loyalty card program, a community centre with open showers midday. You make cleanliness a ritual that costs stingy coins. A laundromat spin cycle cleans your clothes and your resolve. You learn to slice a problem into small, solvable pieces. Level 5, social currency and safety. You are both invisible and hypervisible. Millionaires barely notice you, but you notice them. There is power in a smile from a stranger with cash. You study posture, you mimic confidence. You become fluent in 2 modes, proud and humble. Pride saves you from humiliation. Humble saves you from risk. You find an alley where a barber cuts hair for tips. You trade a story for a crisp neckline. People offer you odd jobs. Clean a table, hold a door, carry a box. You take them all. You value time over pride. Safety is geography. You memorize safe routes, lit streets, late-night diners, constant foot traffic. You avoid certain looks and certain neighborhoods. When a stranger offers a shortcut, you say no. You carry a little light in your pocket, a cheap LED. It becomes a promise to yourself. You keep one friend, a fellow traveller who shares knowledge and shelter in exchange for songs and small favours. Together, you watch the city like hawks. Level 6. Hustle and microeconomics. You hustle with dignity. Street performing becomes a skill, a practice card trick, a quick sketch, a poem for $1. You learn the market of attention. A dozen people pass a busker, one drops a coin. You refine rhythm, pacing, surprise. You sell kindness. You offer real service. Carry a suitcase, give directions, fetch a coffee. You create value where nobody thought to look. You learn the language of tips, timing, gratitude, eye contact. $1 stretches when it's part of a transaction. You find micro gigs, app errands, data entry on borrowed Wi-Fi, translating brief messages. You are nimble. You become an economist of scarcity. Level 7. Choices and trade-offs. Every choice feels epic. Do you spend the $1 on food now or a bus pass later? Do you trade your warm jacket for a night's stay? Risk versus reward sharpen into instinct. You sleep with one eye open and one mind on the future. You refuse to let the day end in panic. You plan 2 steps ahead because one misstep is a domino. You learn to accept small comforts, a warm drink for morale, a clean nap for dignity. You measure success in not being broken by sundown. Level 8. The moral currency. You learn how the rich see the city. To them, an extra zero is freedom. Your dollar is not a joke, it is a lens. You witness charity that is performative, philanthropy that keeps systems intact. You meet people who share without judging. You meet people who hoard without knowing why. This world reveals a truth. Scarcity is not always about numbers. It's about access, networks, assumptions. Your dollar teaches you empathy and strategy. It teaches you the anatomy of privilege. Level 9. The endgame. Sunset stains the tower's gold. You count your minutes. The day is a ledger with delicate entries. 1 pastry, a free coffee, a folded blanket found under a bench, a busker's tip, a museum guard's wink. You cross paths with someone in a suit. They drop a coin. It is accidental and humane. You catch the coin. It warms your palm like a pact. You have survived, not because you outwitted a system, because you learned to navigate it with curiosity and grit. You preserved your dignity. You didn't make a spectacle. You traded skills, not stories that humiliate. You kept a sense of humour, like a talisman. Finale, lessons, and after-images. The day ends, and you are different. You understand how small mercies add up. You know where kindness lives and where it lurks. You learn to read people the way you read maps. You learn to find abundance in margins. This experiment shows something brutal and hopeful. Brutal. Poverty is precise and unforgiving. Hopeful. Resourcefulness is portable. A single dollar can be a survival tool, a lesson, a mirror. In a millionaire's world, you are not invisible. You are a clarifying lens. You see what wealth looks like close up. Choices, safety, time. You return to the city knowing how fragile and how resilient a life can be. You tuck the dollar into a book or a jacket. You feel its weight. You do not romanticize your hunger. You honor your cleverness. And you carry one final truth. Systems can be changed. A day can teach you where to start. The next morning, you wake with plans. Plans that ask for more than $1. Plans that ask for allies. But you begin with the same clarity. $1. One day, you survived. You learned. You will try again with strategy, with community. and with the stubborn, cinematic rhythm of someone who refuses to be erased.